Hello everyone, Skits here, and today I wanted to talk about the possible Fallout New Vegas remaster. Now, Fallout New Vegas is a game that came out in 2010, and I think it deserves a new version. I know that Bethesda will probably never make a remake or remaster because they don't really acknowledge the existence of Fallout New Vegas, and even if they did, I don't think they would go Resident Evil 2 way and just remake the whole thing, but you know, a man can dream. And so in today's video I wanted to talk about my dream Fallout New Vegas remaster and about everything I want to see in it, and also spark a discussion in the comments and see what you want to see included in a possible remake. So now, without any further delays, let's get to it. Of course, the first thing I want to see is fixes. Now, New Vegas is a very buggy game unless you use some mods, and on consoles, of course, since mods don't work, some of those bugs and crashes were never fixed. A lot of people never even managed to play through the game properly because of all the problems with it. And I know that Bethesda is not really a company that likes to fix bugs even in their remasters, which we could see in their new version of Skyrim that still had a few bugs here and there. But seriously, if they want to make a remake or remaster of even Fallout 3, that is actually possible, or New Vegas, they need to fix all the bugs and crashes first before even going and doing any other things. Another thing that I would love to see right after the bugs are fixed is some cut content. We all know that Obsidian only had 18 months to finish New Vegas and that there is a lot of content that was never used. I mean, there are whole documents and tons of Wikipedia entries that talk about all the cut quests, characters, locations. Then we also know that Legion was supposed to be a lot bigger, and I would love to see just Obsidian finish everything that they wanted. Now, of course, Bethesda would have to make Obsidian work on this remaster as well if they wanted to achieve that, and get the lead designer George Sawyer to work on this game. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, and I think that he's busy with other games right now, but just imagine if we could get all the quests, companions and all the stuff that was cut from New Vegas and get it back into the game. Now, there are tons of mods that do that, they're really good, and playing through them only makes me more excited for a possible finished version of Obsidian's New Vegas. And since Obsidian would already be adding some cut content, I would love to see them add maybe a few more quests, some factions, characters and other companions, but you know, I think that is a little bit too much. Just adding the cut content would be more than enough to satisfy me. I mean, just imagine giving Obsidian a few more months to create what they wanted to make, with a fully fledged out New Vegas with some additional stories, maybe a few new plot twists, expanded Freeside, expanded New Vegas, expanded Legion. And if they managed to put all of this together, I think that New Vegas would be a timeless classic. But as we all know, they didn't have enough time, and I wish that if Bethesda ever wanted to create a New Vegas remake, they would let Obsidian work on it as well. Next thing I wanna see are some updated graphics. Of course, my dream would be to make any possible remastered New Vegas look at least as good as Fallout 4, but I don't think that is possible. So if you're going realistic way, at least give us an HD remaster so that I won't see every single pixel in any item that I take a closer look at. When it comes to graphics, I would also love to see some new character models, because they may have looked pretty decent in 2008 or 10, but nowadays some of the models, textures and other stuff just look pretty bad. And the last time I tried to play vanilla New Vegas without any graphic mods, it wasn't very eye pleasing. Bigger draw distance is another thing they need to work on, because right now whenever you try to look a bit further away, you can just see some ugly textures that look really bad in an open world game like this one. Other than graphics, I would also love to see some changes to gameplay. Now, the writing, story, dialogue and dialogue boxes and everything around that is pretty good, but the shooting mechanics are pretty weak, to be honest. Now, Fallout 4 did a pretty good job with FPS mechanics, and maybe recreating them in New Vegas would be a pretty good way to improve them, because even though New Vegas has an iron sight look and it is improved when compared to Fallout 3, it is still not a lot of fun to shoot things. Once they decide to improve shooting mechanics, I would also love to see some new weapons, armors, possibly some new enemies in here, and like I mentioned before, some new models for weapons, because those that we have in vanilla game are a little bit blocky and don't look very good. Now, all the things I talked about here, shooting mechanics, cut content, graphics, bug fixes, were already done by tons of great mods. And here comes my craziest suggestion. I wish that Bethesda would take some of these mods and implement them into a remake and basically create an official mod list that would work without any crashes and would improve the game a lot. For example, Good Old Games already did this partially by implementing 4GB patcher into their version of Fallout New Vegas, a mod that is essential if you want to mod your game a little bit more than just adding a few weapons and quest mods, and I hope that Bethesda would do that as well. I mean, for example, bug fixes, we already have Yuki Chika's unofficial patch for that one. Shooting mechanics, you already have Project Nevada, Solid Project, Real Recoil and other great gameplay mods that would improve the shooting a lot. Then when it comes to graphics, you have some EMB mods, you have tons of texture packs. For example, Evi's big texture pack, NMC's texture pack. Same also goes to character models. We have Fallout character overhaul. Dragbody did a lot of new faces and a lot of new models for the game. If you want to add some new features, you can just take a look at Xylandro's work. He did some crazy scripting, and I think that a lot of these modders would be willing to cooperate with Bethesda if they wanted to include some of their creations into an official remake. Now, of course, everything would have to go through Bethesda and through the programmers and through all the usual stuff that goes into creating a game, because they definitely need to make sure that the game doesn't crash and everything is properly fixed and implemented. But I mean, can you imagine having all the mods you spent hours installing into your game just be implemented in an official remake? That would be absolutely amazing, and I think that Bethesda would gain a lot of good points for making that after the Fallout 76, but yeah, I don't think any of this is even possible. Realistically, if we ever get the Fallout New Vegas remaster or a Fallout 3 remaster, we're going to get maybe some new HD textures to make them look a little bit better, maybe some new effects. They will probably update it to, I think, 64-bit. We will hopefully get some bug fixes and they will maybe fix the crashes. Probably not even that, and I think that's about it. I don't expect much from Bethesda and the remasters. I mean, Skyrim remaster was basically just them upgrading the textures and putting them out to new consoles, and also of course adding the microtransactions via Creation Club, but I don't really want to talk about that one here. But hopefully, if Bethesda wants to gain some, you know, good reputation that they ruined by one game, they will try to at least remake Fallout 3. And all the things I talked about with Fallout New Vegas also apply to Fallout 3, except that Fallout 3 has less glitches, bugs, and also Fallout 3 isn't really working properly on Windows 10, so they could gain a pretty good reputation if they manage to fix that, and I just hope Bethesda decides to go for it. There have been some hints that they're actually working on a new game, but I'm not sure if that was proven wrong or if it was just some hoax or a mistake by Amazon. But if they are working on another Fallout game, I think it is going to be a remaster of either Fallout 3 or New Vegas. And if Bethesda does decide to remake Fallout 3 or New Vegas in a new engine, or if they decide to at least port it to new consoles, they will hopefully implement some of the things I talked about here to make their version at least resemble a perfect Fallout New Vegas remake I want to see. And yeah guys, I guess that's about it. I really want to see what you think about any possible Fallout New Vegas remaster in the comments, so make sure you leave any of your suggestions down there. I will be glad to read your discussion. And I'm sorry if I sound a bit over the place in this video, but I didn't script it because, you know, I just wanted to let things flow naturally like I did in some of the older videos. And I also didn't have that much time to create a new video. Honestly, one of the reasons I made this video is because I'm going to be taking a break from video making, because ever since I decided to create these new types of videos since April last year, I've been just constantly thinking about any new video ideas, about what I want to script, edit and stuff like that. Even though my schedule is not that good, I'm always at least partially thinking about videos, and I think I need to take a short break from all of that. So I won't be thinking or producing or scripting or doing anything related to videos probably for maybe at least 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even a month, which means that any new possible videos might come out in April, but there is a chance there won't be any videos until May, so hopefully you guys can understand this. If you want, you can just, you know, check out some of my older videos. They are also pretty good, at least I think so. Another thing I want to talk about is that I'm going to be canceling my Patreon. I would like to thank all the guys that supported me on it, the current donators and even the former ones. Once again, thank you very much. The reason why I'm canceling it is because of this short break, but also because I don't really feel like I'm producing enough content to have a Patreon, and therefore I don't think I deserve the money you guys are giving me. For those of you that are subscribed even now, I will still be posting some blogs and things from behind the scenes in the Patreon Discord. So if you're one of guys that donated, make sure you send me your Discord username so I could add you to the Patreon chat. Of course, it will not be as frequent as it was right now when I had a Patreon, but still from time to time I'm gonna let you guys know what I'm working on in advance. Again, thank you all for the support on the Patreon for the last couple of months. I really appreciate every single dollar you donated to me. But like I said, I don't feel like I deserve it at the moment to have a Patreon. So yeah, that's why I'm canceling it. And yeah guys, I guess that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, tell me what you think about it in the comments, subscribe for more Fallout and other games content, and I will see you next time.